Well, hearing that such distinguished guests are unable to be in attendance, does that mean I get more than 2 minutes? It was 10,000 kilometers, and it was 6 months, and then it was 12 years reflecting on that experience, and then David said, you have 2 minutes.
Well, we'll give you 4.
An anecdote I've heard told of Alfred Lloyd Tennyson was that he used to march in his backyard and speak aloud his poetry as it came to him. When it sounded correct and fell in step with his tromping in the garden, only then would he sit and write what he'd first physically encountered outdoors. The environment made Tennyson a poet, but as importantly, it must be understood, Tennyson as a poet made his environment. Contriving the written word comes as a drawing up from his body's movements and embeddedness within landscape. 2 millennia before Tennyson, Aristotle defined poetry as the means by which the connection between the embodied norms of one's self-learning is made transmittable to another party. Poetry is a visceral expression which composes us individually and collectively. The body is this dynamic aspect to a world we take active roles in shaping with our mouths and with our words, as much as we do with any other material. We rely on any other material that we rely on for knowing and thinking. For these are experiences of the body. It goes through living, its living acts, and acts which are the unity of existence of the individual that is proclaimed in those concrete acts. The body's gestures define space as well. It becomes one's locus, his or her place where perceptions are gained. And thus begins the work, the travail of construing vision. And for me, this is where motion, poetry, and cartography intersect. As David had rightly pointed out, cartography is the art and science of drawing maps in its broadest sense. And I took that very literally to include all the actions needed to make a map. And as I'll never forget, it was a bicycle trip that made a map. So my watercolors aim to contribute to a cultural geography which deals principally with the characteristics of language. And mine has been an investigation into voice as an outcome of navigating the body on a bicycle trip, 10,000 kilometers for 6 months' time, reflecting on love and solitude, life and death. Four years ago, David and I were in Ottawa. We didn't know one another. I did a presentation at a cartography exhibit, and David's association gave me an award for that. 4 years went by, and we were standing right where you are right now, and we didn't remember each other. We were talking about maps. And I said, I was in Ottawa in 2006. And he goes, so was I. And I said, I know you. And he said, I know you too. Very odd. We look so...
2 degrees of separation.
Yeah, so I mean, this whole issue of how close we are to what it is we're dealing with. Anyway, in closing, I would just like to say I'm deeply honored by the invitation from the University of Alberta to have extended an invitation to me to display these aspects that are such an important part of my master's thesis and my subsequent ongoing work with the Arts-Based Research Center here. Without David's support, Meryl's support, and support from the University Publishing Library, moving forward wouldn't be quite as simple. So I want to say thank you very much.
closes our formalities. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Please partake of the punch and the goodies and enjoy the exhibit. And we have here at the lectern a little book for comments, queries, greetings. So please, if you wish to express yourself about the exhibit, do so. There's even a pen here too. So thank you very much for coming, and please enjoy the exhibit and the refreshments. Thank you.
Thank you.